Hello everybody, it's Wendy, and today we're going to make a necklace, earrings, and a bracelet, hopefully all three in this video, if I can fit them in, using these beautiful Czech glass table cut butterflies. So first of all, our encouraging word for today is commit to the Lord whatever you do, and He will establish your plans. Proverbs 16:3. All right, so I wanted to show you guys the bracelet that I have on. So this is made by Beth, and I feature Beth's products a lot of times here on my channel. I will have her information in the description box below this video, and you guys can check her out. She makes beautiful, beautiful, beautiful things, and that's bead weaving projects. She always does really pretty, just different, unique things. Great Christmas presents, really amazing Christmas presents. Nobody else is going to have them. I'm looking for her card. Here it is. So here's her card. You guys check out her website. She also posts things in my Facebook group sometimes, so you can check her out there. But she made this beautiful necklace or bracelet, and I've had these things since Hurricane Ian. They came like right during Hurricane Ian, but it's been crazy. I just have been so busy. We've been out of town a couple of times. I had 2 root canals yesterday. It's just been a crazy time, so I haven't had a chance to upload the video, but I wanted to show you that and these beautiful earrings that she made. So look at these. Oh my goodness. I mean, these are like my favorite thing ever. They're so pretty. And so, I mean, the thread she uses is just, look at that. It just, they hang so pretty. Just gorgeous. So check her out. And again, I will link the information in the description box below. And these are both not going to lay on my hand, I don't think. Whoop, nope, they're not. But they're so beautiful. She does great patterns. She made the flamingo bracelet that I wear all the time. She made this seashell bracelet that I wear all the time too. So yeah, check her out. Crafts by Beth. And just absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous products. Okay, now Gail sent me these beautiful Czech glass table cut butterflies. And I had, when they had these on their website, I had put them in my cart. And then I know everybody does this. When you go away, you come back and they're gone. And you're like, oh no. So I had mentioned that I would like to get some if anybody had some they wanted to sell them to me. But she was so sweet. She just sent these to me for free. And I appreciate it so much. And we're going to use them today in a bracelet, necklace, and a pair of earrings. So let me tell you what you're going to need if you want to make it. You're going to need 4 focals. So they don't have to be Czech glass butterflies, obviously. That's just what I'm using for this one. So you're going to need 4 focals. You're going to need some chain. Now I'm using, for the necklace, the Coriana chain from my website. This is chain that you can bead directly on. It's very, very thin, very pretty, and it's going to look really pretty on this necklace. And then I also wanted to use another chain with it, so I had this really tiny, this is a very tiny chain as well, but you can't bead on this one. But it's got these little sequins in it. It's so pretty, and we're just going to make a 2-strand, or two chain necklace here. And then we're going to bead on the Coriana chain. So I've got some 4mm onyx beads here. Really pretty 4mm onyx rounds. We're not going to use very many on the necklace. And then I've got some gold stone. And I actually pulled out some tiger eye. I thought I would use tiger eye on it. But the tiger eye was too brown. And this gold stone is really perfect, the perfect shade to use with this rose gold. So that's what we're going to use. I have 2 fold over cord ends. These are for the chain. I have a lobster. I have some jump rings here. And then I think that's all we're going to need for the necklace. And then we'll do the earrings and the bracelet in just a minute. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with this. And of course your tools. You're going to need all your tools. So I am just going to even up the ends of the chain. Let me move these out of the way. Okay, so I'm just going to even up the ends of the chain, and I'm going to cut the length that I have for this Coriana chain is probably, I'm just going to leave it. Let me measure and see what I have here. So I've got 12, right at about 23 inches of the Coriana chain. And that's how I'm going to leave this. I don't want this to be a really long necklace. And by the time we add a clasp, it'll be about 24 inches. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to even up this piece with it. And the way I do multi-strand necklaces, anytime I'm using multi-strand or multi-chain, however you want to word it, I lay it out right on my table like it would be if I was wearing it. This always works for me. So right here. So if you lay that out just like that, that's what it's going to look like if you're wearing it. I want this chain to be slightly shorter. So I'm going to hold the Coriana chain where I need it to be. And I'm just going to pull this one up and shorten it right about to the length that I would want it to be. And then I'm going to pick them both up again, holding it in the right spot there, and lay it down and just see. And that's exactly how I want it to hang. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut this chain. And now if I measure this chain, see how long it is. It's 12. Got my ruler backwards. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Right around 20 inches. So this one is about 23. This one is about 20. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this Coriana chain and I'm going to take one of my butterflies. I've got a little ball head pin here. I didn't mention that. I'm sorry. And one little spacer bead, little rose gold spacer bead. I'm going to put him right on the ball head pin. Put this rose gold spacer bead right on the top here, just like that. And we're going to make a wrapped loop. Okay. So to make a wrapped loop, you're going to take your wire here, come up just a tad from your bead and bend it 90 degrees. And then I'm going to take my pliers. This is what I've got. It's 90-degree bend there. I'm going to come up, holding very firmly and over, rotate this up, and then come right underneath. And you can spin your butterfly so that his wings are out of the way. Then I'm going to grab this with my chain nose pliers, or these are actually my crimpers, but I use them for a lot of things. And then I'm going to take these needle nose pliers, and I'm just going to wrap around a couple of times. All I'm really doing is securing the wire around itself, and I want to try to wrap down toward the bead so that it kind of tightens it on this chain and it, or this head pin, and it doesn't spin a whole big lot. Okay, you can take your pliers and just tuck it right around, just like that. And there we have our little dangle. Now, this wire, or this loop, needs to be turned sideways to get this to hang correctly. So I'm just straightening it up a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and put the butterfly right on. Okay, just like that. These are so pretty. Now, I'm going to use, I think, a couple of my smaller goldstone beads here. These are 4mm goldstone beads. And they will go right on your chain. A lot of really small beads will work on this chain. That's one reason I like it. I like to be able to bead directly on it. It's really nice. And just kind of, sometimes you have to take the bead and work it down a little bit, especially if it's a real small one, but sometimes the links of the chain will catch it, I think, and make it a little hard to get on. And this one appears to be stuck. It was going up and down just fine. And sometimes you can pick a bigger, a different one that might have a bigger hole as well. And sometimes I do that if I have one that's giving me issues. There we go. So there we have the 2 little goldstone. Now I'm going to do a couple of my onyx beads. Okay, and then I'm going to put 2 of the smaller goldstone again, and then 2 of a little bit. I have 6mm also, so I'm going to do, I'm sorry, 1 on each side. It is 2, but 1 on each side. So I'm doing 1 small goldstone on each side. Then I'm going to step up to this 6mm one and do 1 of those on each side. Okay. And there's what we've got. I'm going to do another onyx on each side, and I'm not going to bead this all the way up to the back. I'm just putting a few accent beads right here at the front, and that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going really, I want the butterfly kind of, you know, to be the main focal because it's really pretty. Okay, a couple of onyx beads. And there, see, we have one that just wants to get stuck in one spot. I don't know why that is, but sometimes you just have to find one with a little bit bigger hole. See if this will work. Well, I know they'll go on because this one went on. There we go. Sometimes you do have to just kind of force it on there, but there we go. So that's what I've got so far. And let's do 1 more of the small goldstone beads. These goldstone are pretty. They've got a lot of shine in them. It's so weird that sometimes one will work and one won't. That one doesn't even want to go on. And I know they will because I've put 2 on there already. I just don't want to break my chain. The chain, this chain is very strong, but, you know, if you force it, it can break. Just like anything else, but try not to. There we go. That one worked. Okay, and 1 more goldstone on this other side. See if I can find one with a bigger hole in it. So strange. Try you. Will you work? Yes, you will. Okay. So that's what we've got so far. I don't know if I want to do much more. I may do 1 more. I wonder, might do another 6mm and then the black with the 4mm onyx, and we'll see how that looks. That may be all I do. So 1 more 6mm goldstone. Wow, these are they're so pretty. They have so many gold flecks in them. Really shiny. And then 1 more onyx, and that's probably all I'm going to do. Okay. I think that's pretty cute. Yep, that's good. That's all I'm going to do. Okay, I don't want to overdo it. Get these beads out of the way. We're going to need them again in a minute. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 2 pieces of chain. Just going to make sure that they're even. And I'm going to lay them right in this cord end, this fold over cord end. I'm going to pull them down, and I try to grab onto them with my thumbnail right there on the very tip. And then I'm just going to take this flat nose plier and bend it over until it grabs the chain. Bend it over on that side. And same thing on this side. Okay, press it down really good. It is secure. It's going to hold this in there really well, but I do press it down really good. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Now, one thing you do need to make sure of is that your little sequin chain, or whichever one you want to be on the inside, is on the inside on both. Okay, so I'm just making sure that they're not crossing, because they'll cross when you wear it. If you've got one on the inside on one and one on the outside on the other, you don't want that. You want them to both be on the inside. There we go. Okay, pulling it down just a little. I'm going to take my plier, and it can be a little fiddly. Just take your plier and lay it down tightly, and it'll grab those chains. Okay, I'm going to turn it the other way. Scoot him back over. He tried to scoot a little bit. And lay this side down. And then just make sure that it's pressed really tightly. Give it a tug. Make sure your Coriana chain's not coming out. Mine's not. But you do want it pressed pretty tight. Okay. And there are our two sides. Now, I want to even these up. Scoot my beads down to where they're even, because they're way, way, way to this side. There we go. That might help. Okay, and then we're going to put our lobster and a little ring for our lobster to clasp onto. And you could put an extender on this if you wanted to. I don't think that I will need it, because I measured, you know, kind of how I like mine to fit, but it's totally personal preference. So if you want to add an extender on there, you can. And there we have it. Cute little quick and easy necklace using these beautiful little table cut butterflies and some goldstone and onyx. So let's move on to the bracelet. Now the bracelet, we're going to use the same chain. So I've got my Coriana chain and my other chain, and then I've got, for the bracelet, I have these little connectors. So these are just little rose connectors. As you can see, they've got 4 little things on the back. I think I got these from Michael's or somewhere like that, Michael's or Joann's. And then I've got my butterfly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, let's see, you're going to need, how do I want to do this? I've kind of debated how I want to do this bracelet back and forth in my head. I think I'm going to, let me grab a couple more of the cord ends. We'll use those, I think. Maybe. Do I want to use those here or not? You know what? I think I'm going to use clamshell connectors. I think those will be better. So let me pull out, and you can pull out as well, some clamshell connectors, because these have 3 little loops on them, and I think that's going to be the best option. So I'm going to do 2 per side, and then the chain will just hook on with a really thin jump ring, because it is tiny chain. I've got some really tiny jump rings in here, so hopefully one of these, yeah, these little 4 millimeters, they should work for that chain. We'll try. Gosh, I hope they do. It is tiny chain. Okay, so, and you need some crimp beads. Where are my crimps? I'm totally not with it today. That had a double root canal yesterday, and I wasn't planning on doing that. But I had an issue. I've had an issue for a while with 2 back teeth that had cracked, and they just got like super painful in the last few days, and I had to have kind of an emergency dental visit, and they had to do 2 root canals. And apparently I was blessed with more roots than most people have, and deeper ones. I don't know why God couldn't have blessed me with a good metabolism instead. I would have much more appreciated that, but he didn't. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take an eye pen. If I have a rose gold eye pen, I am severely lacking in rose gold anything. I have found. Okay, we're going to put this little guy on the eye pen, and we're going to do a couple beads here. So let's do 2 of the smaller goldstone beads. There's 1. We'll put him on and do 1 more. Okay, so we've got a loop here. We're just going to make a loop here on the other end. Just bending 90 degrees. We're going to cut it. And I like to make the loops small if I can, because the other loop is fairly small. And then using my tiny little tips on my round nose pliers, I'll roll back a very small loop. See? Pretty well matches the other end. And then we're going to take this and we're going to hook it right on this piece. Just like this. Same on the other side. Now you may need to turn this, so you want this to sit the right way. So we're going to have to, and actually it looks like it's going to anyway, but if you need to twist your loop there, you can. But you want to make sure that it's sitting right. Okay, close this one up. That one didn't close up very good. Let's close it up a little bit better. Okay, now here's what we've got. Little focal. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the Coriana chain. It's going to go in the middle. No, yeah, I am going to put it in the middle and these pieces on the outside. So we just need 2 of the clamshells. Sorry guys, I'm changing my mind as I go, but that's sometimes how it works. So you need a couple more jump rings. So I want to put this chain on the outside on both sides. So let me go ahead and see if these jump rings will even work, these teeny skinny ones. They may not be teeny enough and skinny enough to work for this. And if they're not, we're going to either have to find some that are or resort to plan B. And these are not, unfortunately. Let me see if I have some. I don't think I have any thinner ones in here. Oh wait, these might be. These are tiny. Okay, wow, yeah, these will work. These are like micro. Okay. The thing that's going to be hard is making sure I get them closed up good enough. Yeah, these are micro little tiny ones. Okay, these will work for this though, for sure. So we're just going to put it right through there. And I'm going right through this link. Wow. I almost really need like magnifying glasses, but I think I got that one closed. And then I'm going to use my crimp bead and my lobster for the Coriana chain. So I'm taking the Coriana right up through the middle of this lobster, or goodness, clamshell. I always call them lobsters. And then I'm putting this crimp bead on the end here, if it'll go. Sometimes your Coriana splits on the end and you may have to trim it like it. Yeah, let's do that. Let's trim it up. This one's kind of a little bit split on the end. Now it should go on just fine. There we go. Okay, going to take my crimping pliers and I'm just going to crimp it like a regular, I'm not you know, doing it in the little channels and all that. I'm just, all it does is hold this on the chain. And then we're just going to close up this lobster. Perfect. If you want to put glue in there for added security, you most definitely can. I don't really often. Sometimes I do, but I don't really find that it's necessary. And then we're going to hook this right on here, on this middle piece. Okay. Just like that. Now, the reason that I haven't done the other chain, this other one yet, is I'm just waiting to measure. So I need to see my middle piece here. It looks like it's about 1.5 inches. Right around 2 inches. Okay, so I need about 3 inches per side, not counting my clasp. Okay, so I need about 3 inches here. And so I'm just going to go ahead and cut, I'm going to cut it 2 1/4 because I always end up making bracelets too long. And then this other side, I'm going to go ahead and hook on with these tiny little jump ring. Lord have mercy, it is tiny. Okay, right in here. There we go. And I'm just going to hook him right on here, just like we did the other one, and close it right up. Okay. So I'm going to lay these out, just like this. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this end as well, right here. Now, I'm going to bead on this Coriana chain, and then we're going to need to clamshell and jump ring these other ends, just like we did those. So let me see. Let's do a black, the onyx bead. So we'll go ahead, do the onyx bead on here. Come on. Why are you being difficult? Found a different one. Don't know why. Some of them go on so easily and some of them don't. That one was fairly easy, but not super easy. Come on, dude. He doesn't want to go all the way on either. I may have to use the goldstone if I can't get an onyx on there. Don't know why they're being so hard. And sometimes, there we go. Sometimes the chain has a little loop that might be wider than the rest. Okay, now we're going to do the goldstone. Sorry for the ringing phone in the background. I'm going to do the 6mm goldstone next, just to make my life easier. There we go. That went on super easy. Now let me see if I can find the smaller one that will go on. This chain too, I may have picked a little bit. Sometimes some of it's a little wider than, I may have picked a thinner one that I was using for the necklace than this. I just have several pieces of it in my stash. And this one could have been a little bit bigger millimeter, and it must have been because I did not have this much trouble with the necklace. Okay, let's do an onyx bead, or a, yeah, another onyx bead. Sometimes it happens. See if this one will go on. There we go. And then I'm just going to use, I guess, the 6mm goldstone because those little ones are not wanting to go. For some reason. Okay. And I'm just alternating back and forth. Goldstone, onyx, goldstone, onyx. goldstone, onyx, goldstone, can't hardly see the holes in these onyx beads, they are tiny. Okay, another goldstone. And it looks like I can probably put one more onyx bead on the side, and then I will have to do my lobster or my clam shell and my crimp bead. Yeah, I don't think it'll fit another goldstone bead, or yeah, the bigger goldstone bead. Okay, clamshell and crimp bead. And again, I'm just taking the crimp. I'm going to pull it up here to the end of the chain, crimp it down. And just do it tight and tug it. Now I probably could have fit another goldstone bead on there, but that's okay. I don't mind these having a little movement on this chain. I'm just going to do it like that, because if you make it too stiff, then if you bend it, it's going to break, and I don't want that. So there we go. Close this guy up. Okay, now we've got these two and this one here in the middle, and I'm going to take these two little jump rings and I'm going to connect these all onto a ring. So I'm using just like an 8mm ring out of my stash, and I may have cut those chains a little short. I may have to add a couple of these little jump rings, but I'm just going to jump ring them onto this ring in the middle. Everything's going to get jump ringed onto the ring. So let's go ahead and do one. And I think I am going to add two on each of these little chains because I cut them a little short. Whoops. So I'm just doing two jump rings on here. These are so tiny. You can feel them rubbed together, so you can tell if you've got them actually closed up or not, because I could, I could feel that when I rubbed it together. I could feel the little jump ring rub against the metal of itself. So that's how I usually try to tell, especially on tiny ones like these, if I've got them closed up. Okay, we're going to do the other side here. I really need to get a magnifying thing. Even though these are my new glasses and they are good, but this is so tiny. And it's not wanting to go on here. There we go. And I don't want to cut this one again because I've got like the little half link on the end. You ever do that? You cut your chain, you get that little like half link on the end. And I'm trying to get this one on the one above it. Not wanting to go. Let me cut the half link, see if I can get the half link off. Precision work here. I had never had a root canal before. Did not realize what precision work that is, but man, that dentist used the tiniest little pieces and drills and stuff. Okay, there we go. Got the half link off. Get these on. Okay, now This is very, very delicate little bracelet. It's going to be pretty. And I think, honestly, I need one more jump ring on each of those ends. I really did cut them shorter than I did that middle one, which I guess when you add the clam on, it really kind of lengthens everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one more on each of these, and then I'm going to hook these on to this ring, and I'm going to use the clamshell connector ring. I'm not going to add a jump ring to it because that would still make it too long. So I'm adding the 3 little rings here, and then I'm just going to take this ring and catch them all. So I'm going to catch this one, then I'm going to catch the clamshell, then I'm going to catch this one. And then when I close this up, they should lay pretty well right. There we go. Okay, so now we have to do the same exact thing to the other side. So I'm just going to beat it up off camera because this video is getting kind of long. And so if you need to rewind it, you can go back and look at the beginning and, you know, or look at the how we did these. But I'm just going to do this other side the same exact way that I did this one. And how in the world have I got these tangled up? I'll have to look at that. I may have crossed them somehow. But anyway, bead your other end, put your chains on and everything, just like we did this side, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here we are down at the end, and we're going to hook our lobster on, and I'm just doing it the same way I did on the other one, only I'm just going to hook the lobster clasp right on this jump ring. So I'm putting all of those on and then putting the lobster on. And I'm using a smaller jump ring than I did on the other end. Okay. And there is our pretty little bracelet. Now it's going to be too big for me because I made it way too big. By the time I got my clamshells on, it was just too big. So, you know, I can still wear it. Obviously, it's not going to fall off. It's not that big. It's not like going to go over my hand or anything. But it is going to flip around, which with this I'm not sure is so bad because it's pretty delicate. So now with bulkier bracelets, I don't like them to flip, and I can't possibly get this on myself right now. But anyway, this is what it would look like if you did it, you know, if you wore it just right. So this one, like I said, I will have to either take it apart and restring it smaller because I'm really bad about doing them too big, or just let it flip around. And I'll probably just let it flip around because it is pretty all the way around. These chains are really pretty and delicate, and yeah. So there's our bracelet. Now the earrings are super easy. We've got our 2 little connectors. We've got some little rose gold spacers and some ball head pins, and our 2 little butterflies, and what did I do? Oh, here they are, our 2 fish hooks. Okay, so here's what we're going to do for these. We're going to take our connector. We're going to make little dangles out of these butterflies. So I've got my ball head pin, and it has the ball on the bottom, so I wanted to put a little spacer on the top as well, a little rose gold one. And I didn't have any tiny enough to match the ball, but I think this looks good. So we're just going to bend it 90 degrees and make the wrapped loop, just like we did on our other. And I'm going to hang this from the wrapped loop using a jump ring. If you didn't want to use a jump ring, you could put it on right now, but I'd rather use the jump ring, I think. I just think it'll make it dangle a little prettier. So we're going to go around here a couple of times, just securing it onto the head pin. And these are the tiniest little head pins. I don't know why I cannot find rose gold head pins that are very big. Anytime I find rose gold head pins, they're tiny. It's just weird. Okay, so there's one. I'm going to go ahead and make my other one. come up and over. You can twist your butterfly a little bit out of the way to get around that. So your loop. And then just take my tweezer nose pliers. This is fiddly to get around these butterflies' wings, but just try to do it as best as I can. And then I tuck it. Okay, just like that. So we have our two little butterflies, which we are going to hang from two small jump rings, little 4mm ones, onto the middle link here of our connector. Same thing on the other one. Okay, and then we're going to take our connector and we're going to hang it right onto the fish hook. Now you can use a jump ring if you want. I don't think I'm going to. I'm just going to hang it right on here and close that up. Same thing on this side. Maybe. Why don't you want to go on there? Is my flower blocking it? It doesn't want to go on this side for some reason. Really? There we go. I didn't have it open enough. Okay. That could be a problem. All right, and then for our two little sides here, I'm just going to take, let's see, I might do a gold stone and an onyx. Let's see how that looks, just hanging. Yeah, and we're just going to do that on both sides. So I'm just going to make a wrapped loop here, but I am going to put this loop on before I wrap it. So I'm going to take it and bend it, and then I'm going up and over, and then I'm going under, and then I'm going to insert it directly on here because I don't really want to have to hook this on with a jump ring. I think it would be too long. Okay, I think it would be too long. Yeah, it would be. So we're just going to hook it right on like this. See if I can get that wrapped. They're fiddly. They're teeny tiny little loops and teeny tiny little head pins for sure. Okay, we'll cut this one off. And then tuck in any little snag that we have. And there's one side. Now I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to make the onyx and the, whoops, I did the gold stone first, didn't I? Gold stone and then onyx. Do I want to do it the same way? And then make the loop. Yeah, I don't know why you can't find a rose gold, like head pins and eye pins and stuff that are very long. I have a really hard time finding them. And if you do find them, they're like so expensive that you're like, nope, forget it. I'll stick with these little 1/2 inch guys or inch guys. Okay. All right, so there is what we have. So I'm going to do the other side really quick. Gold stone and onyx. We've got a cute little pair of earrings. I think the bracelet and necklace turned out really cute too. I didn't have enough roses to put one on the necklace. I wish I would have, but I only had 4 of these pink ones, and so I just had to do it the way I did it. Well, he's not wanting to go in there at all. Let's open it up a little bit. Come on. There we go. These are very, very tiny. Hard to hold, hard to see. Just hard. All right. There's one more. And then last but not least, we'll do our last little one here. And I want to say again, thank you to Gail for these little butterfly beads. They're so pretty. I think they made a really pretty set here. And thank you to Beth for the bracelet and earrings. They're beautiful. Those are the prettiest earrings I've ever owned. I love them. All right. So there we go. There's our little earrings and our bracelet and our necklace right there. So I will put these on a form over here so you can see them a little bit better, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here's our little set. Here's our bracelet. Oops. Let's try to focus, camera. It's your one job in life. Our earrings and our necklace in the back. And I think it turned out super cute. So thank you again to Gail for all of the butterfly beads. I appreciate them so much. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.